Hello. So, we are going to try our hand at playing Entity. We are an artificial intelligence, an artificial intelligence astronaut, robotically. And so we have just, after a long period of time, after 10,000 years, we are on this alien planet. We have done a little bit of an explore based on the ending part here. And we have decided, as is our purpose of what we were created for, is to research this planet where we are. So the game itself is it's a simple indie game. It's very much based on Ironsworn in its roll system. So rolling 2d10s, you have a weak hit or a strong hit. Someone's doing some, well, hopefully you can't hear that. Someone's doing some gardening outside. And also in Notorious with the exploration loop that kind of happens. So one of the first things we do in the game Entity, as we have located ourselves, so one of the first things we do is we try to identify a mission that we want to do. Maybe I'll put this screen, maybe I'll show this on the screen, this mission table. So the variety of missions, so some of the things that we need to do is we need to acquire type like aspects to solve a mission, so things that we'll discover about the planet. And the core of being able to easily do that is we need to discover data about things, so information about things on this planet. So one of the first things so we can imagine that we have our suit, and in our suit we have some tools. So we have an integrated multi-tool. Let me quickly tell you what those things will do. So we have an integrated multi-tool. So what this can do is it can shift things, it can shift into various forms to help us solve problems. And what it means is that we can re-roll one dice during an action roll. An action roll is like in Ironsworn, so like with this. So there's 3 dice you can see on the little screen because we have like advantage and disadvantage. So advantage would be we would take the 2 lowest, and disadvantage we would so take away the 1 highest, and disadvantage we would take away the 1 lowest. So for instance, if we had a skill of 7, that would be a strong success, that would be a weak hit. Using Ironsworn, if you can remember from when we played Starforge earlier in the existence of this channel, which I might go back to. Anyway, I digress, as always. So that would be how we would use our multi-tool. We also have an energy shield, an adaptive energy shield. Now all of these things take up and utilize energy, and as an artificial intelligence we have a variety of things. So we have an amount of energy that we can have. We have R, which is resources, so physical resources, and then we have D, which is data, which is things that we have, information that we have acquired about this alien environment where we have found ourselves. And so for 3 energy, we can utilize an adaptive energy shield, which is that we can use that upgrade to avoid getting a strain. Now, how damage is acquired within Entity is we have our spacesuit has 20 allocated places on it. We have 3, which is occupied by these 3 starting upgrades. You can take 2 types of damage in Entity. You can have strain. Strain temporarily occupies 1 of those slots in your suit's upgrade slots. And then you have an impairment. An impairment permanently occupies 1 of those slots. Now, every time we go out on a mission, every time we try and take a mission, we will accrue strain. At the end of that mission, it's seen as though we have rested and all that strain goes away. But impairments will permanently be there. Now, one of the things that we can do in amongst doing things is we can decide to try and install an upgrade. We can try and upgrade our suit. So for instance, we have the integrated multi-tool, the adaptive energy shield. Possibly we might decide at some point it might be useful because of the way that we are moving that we might want to, I don't know, what we've got, gain advantage in a survival action roll. So we could install a threat indexing system. So for 3 energy, if we have to make a survival action roll, we could gain advantage on it. That would occupy 1 of the slots in our suit. So we have 17 empty slots. But if we were to get some strain or to get an impairment, that might break that. So an impairment would permanently break that and occupy that slot permanently, so it's damaged. A strain would occupy that slot and temporarily break that upgrade, but to get that back at the end of the mission, we would need to reacquire the resources and rebuild that upgrade. So that is our adaptive energy shield. And then finally, we have what's called an adaptive resource conversion unit. This takes no energy. And what this does is when we're in the middle, and we'll do that in a minute, we'll go to, setting up the scene, so let's guess 6 minutes. We might go to a location encounter with an opportunity, or a location encounter finding. These are different types of encounters, types of things that we can get to. We could spend 2 resources to convert them into either 1 data or 1 energy, because we might need them for what we're about to do. We have, as I said, we have a resource called energy, a resource called resources, and a resource called data. At every mission, when we start every mission, we begin with 0 resources and 0 data and 10 energy. Now, at the moment, our suit can only take 10 energy as a maximum, but we can upgrade that. We also have structures that we can create. So structures within our main hub on this planet, a resource location. Now, the idea of this is we build these structures as a permanent thing, but we may not be the only people. So if something happens to us, I've called myself Welcome. Artificial intelligence Welcome. My World of Warcraft character, back in the, I'll have to put the date up here because I can't remember, it was a long time ago, it was called Welcome because I thought it was funny when the screen come up saying welcome, welcome. I found that amusing. Simpler times. So we would build these structures on the planet, within our headquarters. If Welcome expires, all of the suit's resources get used up, we run out of energy and Welcome shuts down. We can have another AI be dragged in onto this planet and continue the research where we left off. So that would be, it could be thousands and thousands of years later that somebody else discovers the planet, and all of these structures are still here, so we can still use those structures for future characters. So that's basically the world. As I said, we have an exploration or expedition and exploration loop where we start off with we're at our base. So yeah, so we pick a mission first. So the first mission, I think we will pick. So we can enhance. We don't really. So at this present moment, we don't really need to enhance. Well, we could do. There's energy unleashed, energy storage, and data infinity, repeatable 5 times, and they all increase the capacity of either our data center to enhance the data capacity of the suit, high density storage to increase the resource capacity of the suit, or a fusion power plant to increase the energy capacity of our suit. So these are all things that increase the capacities of the suit, where at the moment we're only really starting, so I don't know if we quite need those things just yet. I do have, just as I'm fiddling with my paperwork down here, I've got the Advanced Storytelling Supplement. These were all printed by a company, British company called Doxu. I'll put a link down at the bottom. The printing of the books that they send out is absolutely exquisite. Really, like, mind-blowingly good. If anyone knows of anyone else, I'm willing to try those as well. But this is the best one I've found so far. And sadly, I don't know of anyone in Australia that prints stuff as cheaply and as good as I can get from here. The only problem is, of course, the carbon footprint of these things is massive because they get flown halfway around the world to come to me here. So it's not great. So missions. So we start off by defining a mission. So probably we'll pick for our first mission, instead of those 2 aspect things, which would be easy, we'll go for something, what should we go for? We could build a geospatial analysis lab to enhance our local navigation capabilities. That sounds quite useful. Structures, so a geospatial analysis lab. This lab performs deep analysis of the geological formations and mineral distributions. Roll a single die Re-roll a single die in navigation action rolls. All right. Why don't we do that? Why don't we say that we are going to try to build. So what we'll do is we're going to try and build a geospatial analysis lab, which is the mission navigating complexities. So to get that, we need to acquire 3 aspects. And to get an aspect, when we get to the location, we need to roll a 10 or above on our location encounter table. So the exploration loop works in 3 phases. We have phase 1, where back at our base, we will identify a location on the planet to go and explore. Phase 2, we will travel to that location. And phase 3, we will explore the location itself and have location encounters. So our first thing we would do, but when we're at the location encounter, is the only time that we can acquire an aspect. Now to acquire an aspect, I'll put this table up. I'll put this table up on the screen as well, so you can see. We roll a d10 and we look up on the table. And so what we need is we need to get a 10 plus. Now to increase this number, we can spend data. So for every 1 data, I've looked this up several times and I keep forgetting it, but I'm pretty sure this is right. If this is wrong, I will correct myself in words and over the edit. We can spend data. So to get this roll to be a 10 plus, we'd need to have at least 6 data to acquire to spend here to then give us one of those aspects. So there could be a large loop going on here. But our key thing was we really want to do is we want to acquire data, or we want to be able to use our adaptive resource conversion unit to convert resources into data. So instead, we could have had 12 resources, burn those resources to acquire the data to spend on this roll to then get a 10 plus, which means that we would then have to deal with a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and then an aspect. And all of those things are different encounter types. So to get an aspect, we need to have gone through a challenge, an opportunity, a finding, and then we get an aspect. So it seems a bit difficult. I haven't played this before. I haven't really seen it. But yeah, it seems okay. Anyway, so our first mission is that we have decided, Welcome has done some analysis of the local area. It seems a bit that we're unsure. There's lots of magnetic waves. We've got some solar storms coming off. That massive pyramid is giving off loads of gravitational energy. It's mentioned in the beginning. And so we have decided that to benefit us, we will build a geospatial analysis laboratory. And to get that, we need to find some additional information of the area to help us construct the parts to put together our laboratory. So first off, we need to do some analysis and work out where it might be good to go and look for some information. And that is identifying a location. So to identify a location, we roll a D100 and then we check on the location table. So we've got 66 locations. 66 scorched glass fields. Vast plains of solidified molten sand turned to smooth reflective glass by ancient intense heat. So somewhere out, a distance away, our internal scanners have built a holographic image with us, and we know that there are these huge glass fields. So possibly something happened there, and we want to find out what it was, so as we can get further analysis of the environment and maybe work out a better way of building, so not only building the laboratory, but understanding the data that will come out of our geospatial lab. So next, we need to travel there. So we roll a D10 and we look up the travel table, which I'll put up as well. So the travel, so this is if we get any encounters on the way. I think we can spend, so we can spend data on the travel location table as well, but we haven't got any to spend. A challenge. So something happens on the way to the glass fields, a challenge. So now we roll a D100. So we roll a D100 on the encounter challenge table. We have a 69, dude. Okay, so on our travel, so whilst we're moving across various different grassy terrains and a deserty plain towards where the glass fields, the scorched glass fields are, we come across, it says, you encounter an alien creature displaying signs of travel intelligence. So I'm going to do say T, which means it's the travel part. Then I'll go 69, alien creature intelligent. So afterwards we also have, it says keywords. We have biology, communication, IT. Now biology, communication and IT are all aspects of us. So we have each AI astronaut in Entity has 3 core abilities: technology, and analytics, and adaptivity. And then under those there are 3 subheadings. So technology has robotics, information technology and engineering. Analytics has physics, biology, chemistry. Adaptivity has survival, communication and navigation. So this is utilising biology, communication or IT. So we can use one of those skills to try and deal with this. Now, we have in the advanced entity, we might actually switch to this because I remembered, as it said alien creature, that there's a table in here to do with alien life forms. We also have, actually I'll do this as we're coming here. So what we can see in the distance, so as we are travelling across, so we see 07, let's say that's 07. Floating islands are visible against the sky. So as we see floating islands visible against the sky, we will get, and now there are four stats here. So we've got form, trait, feature, behavior. So this alien creature we have, so for form we have 50. So it's rabbit-like, which is a leproid. So this small rabbit-like creature, 57, but it has one big eye. So this rabbit-like creature with one big eye is hopping around. Its feature is 34. Geokinesis. What's geokinesis? Maybe it's geokinesis mean it's moving stuff around. Maybe it's building something. Maybe we'll say it's building something. Geokinesis. Okay, I'm going to look up geokinesis. Hold on, and I'll tell you what geokinesis is. If somebody knows, you're probably shouting at the screen. You're probably saying, Pete, you idiot. Geokinesis means a superpower. What is geokinesis? The ability to manipulate the movement of materials in the earth using supposed psychic powers. Yes, so it's building something. Okay, so it's building a warren. We're watching it build a... So we've come across, there's all these things in... Oh, maybe this is why all the earth is in the sky, because a large horde of these have shifted this earth about so as they can build something. So we're watching whilst there's big things going to the sky, and its behaviour is 35. Prehensile. What's a prehensile behaviour? Prehensile. Again, those in the know will be shouting. I don't know if Mandy would ever watch this, but she may even know what this is. Oh, it's got the ability to grasp something. Many monkeys have long prehensile tails which they use in swinging through the trees. It can grasp things. Well, maybe its prehensile ability to grasp is using its brain, its mind to grasp. So it's creating things with the soil and building a warren. And so maybe there's a couple of these creatures, these rabbit-like creatures, and we will approach them carefully and observe them for now. And if we see them again, then we will try to communicate with them. So at the moment, we're just going to try observing them. So we had, what did we have? We had biology, communication and IT. So our biology is quite low. Our communication is quite low, but our IT is quite high. So we have an IT of 3 with a technology of 4, which gives us a 7. So maybe we are going to use our systems to set up some kind of surveillance around here. We are going to construct a surveillance thing around here. What do we get for dealing with this? So what we get for doing this is we get to our destination without any problems. So we don't have any disadvantage, but we don't have advantage. So whilst to get through this area safely, we are going to use our information technology system, set up some surveillance devices to make sure that we're monitoring these. We will call them King Bunnies. No, it's got one eye. Sci Bunny. It's a Sci Bun. Sci Bunny. These Sci Bunnies, we're going to try and observe these Sci Bunnies. So that means we've got a 4 and a 3, which is 7s. So we have got an 8 and a 5, which is a weak hit. And I think a weak hit will give us 1 strain, I believe. Partial success. Of course, I can't call it a weak hit because that's what Ironsworn calls it. If the result on one is carried out with complication, therefore a strain is marked. So we have 1 strain. So with 1 strain, we have been able to set us up some surveillance information, and then we can proceed through the area of Earth and where they're building their warrens using their brains and continue on. Let's see what we can see in the distance. So as we start to move closer, we can see off into the distance over on the side, an 87, an ancient monolith standing alone in a desolate plain. Okay. So maybe we'll come back and explore the ancient monolith. Okay, busy outside today, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear the helicopter going over. I live in an area of Sydney called Kingsford. And during the day, it's quite noisy around here. So an ancient monolith standing alone in a desolate plain is what we can see off into the distance as we're continuing towards the scorched glass fields. So next we have, so we in time. So really, there's no great concept of time because we're already 10,000 years old as an artificial intelligence, and we've got perpetual systems that are keeping us going. So we have now reached these glass fields, and what we want to do is we want to explore these glass fields because we've seen them as being interesting and see what information and what we can get out of them. So there are various different things that we can get here. We can encounter a challenge, we can have an opportunity, we can something called a finding, and then there is the final thing, getting an aspect. So challenges are challenges. Findings do not necessitate any action roll. The prompt of such an encounter finding table invariably describes that you have discovered, which is typically a lesser amount of energy, charging a spacesuit, data, and or resources. We could have reused one of our things. Oh, I know. Let's use 3 energy to because it means that we're using something, to use our adaptive energy shield, which will consume 3 energy, and then we cannot have got that strain. It means that I don't know if you've watched me play Majestic 13, but I forget things to my advantage all the time. Adaptive or ablative armor being a key thing. So we will do so, yeah, and then we've got opportunities offer the things to get things. Opportunity offers a chance to gain a significant amount of energy, resource, data, or resources. They always acquire an action roll as described in the relevant encounter opportunity table entry. Or we have some things have a D, which are opportunities with a disadvantage. So they're just saying, but we roll with disadvantage. And then finally, we have the aspect. If we gain an aspect, we just gain an aspect. There's no roll for that. So we will roll our D10 and see what we come across on these glassy plains. What do we get? A 10. No way. Okay, so we have a challenge that we need to overcome, and then we have an opportunity. So we do these in this order as well, I think. Then we have a finding, and in the end, we'll acquire our first aspect. That's pretty cool. Okay, is that right? I think that's right. I think we do it in that order. I'm pretty sure we do it in that order. We also have, which I didn't mention, is whilst we are going through our exploration, we have side activities. And so at each part of that loop, we can attempt to do a side activity. During any expedition, during expeditions, you have an option to execute one side activity. After your exploration part is over, you may select the activity from the 5 above. So, right, that's it. So each mission contains expeditions. Each expedition contains an exploration and a side activity. So after we've done this exploration, which is what we're doing now, we would then have a side activity, which we'll do then. So I don't know why I'm dealing with that now. Anyway, so first off, we have a challenge that we need to face. So we would then roll on the challenge table. Encounter challenges. So we roll on our challenge, which is 98. 98, your suit's exterior has become contaminated by an alien pathogen that glows ominously. So we have a glowing thing has come off of the glass. Maybe this is what caused the glass to become, the scorched fields to become glass, attaches itself to us. This is either biology or chemistry. Our chemistry is better than our biology, so we're going to try and do analysis of this and understand what this material is that's on us. And try and overcome the challenge of this, which maybe it's starting to eat into our suit. And so we are going to utilize some things within our suit to try to get us to take this material off and understand what it is. So we have an analytics of 3 and a chemistry of 2. That gives us a 5. We will possibly use the multi-tool to re-roll. Okay, so we've got a 4 and a 2. 4 and 2 rolling under 5. A 4 and under 2 rolling under 5 gives us a full success. A full success. What happens if we fail? If any of these rolls fail, the challenge is considered to be unsuccessful. A location. If the challenge during a location encounter is unsuccessful, the remaining opportunities, findings and aspects remain unresolved, concluding the current exploration. Well, that's lucky, otherwise this would have been all done for nothing. And the last 15 minutes would have been for nothing. So next we have an opportunity. Opportunities offer a chance. Okay, so we have an opportunity. So we would go to the opportunity encounters. 44. 44. A group of alien robotic life forms are in hibernation mode. Gain 2 data and 3 resources on a success. So we have robotic life in hibernation. So we've got a robotics, an IT or a chemistry. What's our highest? Robotics, IT or a chemistry? Well, our highest is it's really noisy outside. Our highest is 7 for information technology. So we're going to study these. We're going to go up to these and try and explore what they are and study them and see if we can understand what they are. That is a weak hit because it's 7. So that's that and that's that. So we're going to spend 2 energy using our adaptive multi-tool to re-roll that one. Doing a 1 and a 1, which is a strong hit. So that is a success. And so what did we say that we got out of this? So this field of exotic... No, that wasn't it. 44, wasn't it? Alien robotic life forms, we gain 2 data and we gain 3 resources. Cool. Okay, so then we have our findings. So then we roll on the findings table. 69. You find pieces of remnant machinery from an ancient alien civilization. So alien machines, gain 1 resource. Okay, so utilizing all of this, we have then so we found this field of alien, strange alien life forms that are all in hibernation. Maybe the hibernation is due to the glass fields that are around us. Part of that analysis that we've done, we've worked out is due to the glass fields around us. And maybe the glass fields are due to some coronal influences from one of the nearby suns, which is causing disturbances on this planet, whatever this planet is called. And this alien machinery was possibly destroyed during that as well. So our aspect that we then acquire, because we've done all these, we then will acquire aspect, which is we have more knowledge of the planet. And that gives us one of the aspects that's come up, which then gives us our first aspect, which is then one of the three that we need, meaning that we leave two. And that, in essence, is entity, which is very much a notorious feeling thing. So our entity, our AI, returns back to headquarters. The expanse of land around where we have decided to put ourselves, and then reassesses the outside environment to decide where would the next place to go be. And that is where we will join Welcome in our next episode. Thank you very much for joining me as I explore the game Entity. I'll put links in the bottom so as you know where to get it. Thank you very much for joining me. Please hit that like if you liked what you saw. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more. I have many other games that I play, and I have many other games that I'm planning on playing. All of them solo, some of them skirmish, but most of them role-playing in one description or another. And some of them I do voices. And if you have any comments, please leave comments, and I would love to hear what you have to say. And beyond that, I will hopefully see you in the next game. Goodbye.